ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont. And just when you thought EA couldn't reveal that they are more out of touch with the gaming world than we already thought and knew they were, because I already thought and knew they were pretty out of touch. But this headline says it all. We're going to see what the article says too, though. But it's just this Games Radar's reported on this. EA claims our creative freedom and player first values will remain intact after buyout, and even with the new debt of 20 billion, it will work to grow the company. If you couldn't grow your company before you were $20 billion in debt, how are you going to do it when you're already in debt? And then, first off, let's rewind to the beginning of this statement. When has EA ever cared about the player values? Like, when have they ever actually expressed themselves as being invested and interested in what their players want and desire? There's a there's a fucking meme about video game companies that straight up says you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become EA, because that's how fucking evil EA is. And that's how much they only care about making money and not care about pleasing the actual audience. So this statement's just, how out of touch are they? This is how out of touch they are. The executives at EA are living in another plane of existence from the rest of the world. But let's jump in. An updated version of a fact shared with EA employees addresses concerns that the company will be over encumbered with the 20 billion debt in it stands to absorb following the closure of its pending leverage buyout, as well as fears that EA Games could face creative restrictions or censorship under new owners, notably including Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. So I'm going to pause real quick. What is going on with Western gaming that we're being bought out by other countries? Like, Ubisoft was just bought out by Tencent, which is basically China. Well, not bought out, partnered and gutted. And now we've got this Saudi Arabia thing buying EA, and it's like, what are they going to do next? They're going to open their own gaming industry, take all the major titles, and gut EA. On September 29th, an initial draft for this fact assured that EA employees worried about layoffs that there would be no immediate changes to jobs, among other things. An updated version of the fact dated October 30th and posted by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission expands and adds several questions and points. One new section asks, will the debt impact our ability to invest in and grow the business? It's a very important question, but I like this wording here. The fact was dated October 30th. Usually, when they use specific wording like that, the reason they're using that is because it probably dropped at 11:59 p.m. October 30th. So effectively October 31st. But it was because they do things like this legally where they drop it 1 minute before midnight, or some will do it 2 minutes before midnight to have a guaranteed window. But they do that so they can say they gave you the notice on that date when nobody in their right mind's like, hey, it's 11:59 p.m. Let me check my email for some legal documentation. That's not going to happen. You're in bed usually, or you're getting ready for bed, and it's one of those little shady things. They probably did date it and send it out on October 30th. I've done a lot of finger quotes this episode. I gotta fucking knock that off. They probably did date it October 30th, but they probably didn't even see it until the 31st. Like, 2% of employees that work for them who were awake when they got the notification, opened it and went, oh my God. But the rest of them had to wait till they woke up. Ah, I'm rambling. Let's get back into the article here. EA says no, which is, will it impact the growth? No, through strong cash generation, we just gonna fucking generate cash. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was so easy, EA. We will continue pursuing organic and inorganic growth opportunities as a private company, even with the new debt. What the fuck is an inorganic growth company? So like you're gonna pay somebody to grow your company? Is that what you're implying? Because I'm gonna have to look that up later. Uh, that just seems weird. This reads, I guess, hold on. Organic growth would be just natural customers, progression of them buying your stuff. I guess inorganic growth is what they consider investors. I wonder if that's inorganic growth. Possibly. Let's get back into this. This reads as the company insisting it won't suddenly pause and downscale all growth ventures in order to shovel as much money as possible into the 20 billion debt hole. Additionally, EA writes the consortium also expects to invest in our business, enabling us to accelerate innovation and unlock new growth opportunities rather than a supervillain headquarters. The consortium is the collective term for the three buyers in the EA deal: the Saudi PIF, private equity firm Silver Lake, and Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners. Kushner's Affinity Partners? Does this mean he's not involved or he is involved? I'm confused. Like, is Jared Kushner buying EA? Because that's weird. Seems like a bad investment for a person that's supposed to be known for making good investments. EA notes it will sunset shareholder return programs as a private company, returning directly to growth. It adds that the same discipline and operational excellence that made us successful will continue to guide how we invest and deliver our global communities to our global for our global communities. I just skipped over that word. This fact previously examined how EA's culture may change as a result of this deal. Two new points have been added to this section. The consortium believes in our vision, our leadership, and the strength of our teams. The first claims they are investing in EA because they believe we are uniquely positioned to lead the future of entertainment. The second point reads, EA will maintain creative control and our track record of creative freedom and player first values will remain intact. Underneath, the new section directly interrogates what influence will these stockholders have on creative or business decisions. EA says its message to inspire the world to play will remain unchanged and repeats that our creative freedom and player first values remain intact. Since when has EA's message been inspire the world to play? I have never once heard that slogan. Everyone knows EA's slogan, and even if it's not their current one, it is their current one because it's the only one people know. EA Sports. It's in the game, right? Am I going crazy? Does anybody know? Tell me if I'm wrong. Like, when did it become inspire the world to play? Is this like the corporate mantra that's only listed like in the boardroom when they walk in and it's like over the door, so when they're actually at the table, they can't even see their own fucking mantra. I've never heard this. Inspire the world to play. Whatever, EA. You suck. You've always sucked, and you will continue to suck. The company doesn't single out some of the specific values that players and developers have worried could be on the chopping block, like the very progressive messaging seen from studios like BioWare, as studio vet Mark Dara put it, but it does offer more broad assurances of creative expression. The consortium believes in our vision, our leadership, and our focus on creating games, stories, and content that reflects a range of experiences and delivering them to our global player community. EA says they're investing in the creativity that defines EA. The EA buyout is projected to close within 6 to 9 months. It has faced security from U.S. senators' concerns about the foreign influence of national security risk and from game developers asking government regulators to ensure any path forward protects jobs, preserves creative freedom, and keeps decision making accountable to the workers who make EA successful. If and when the deal closes as planned, or rather in the following months and years, we'll see for ourselves whether layoffs, typical of leverage buyouts, historically do not hit the company's core or orbiting teams and or orbiting teams. Oh, it's hitting the orbiting teams. They will be the first. They're orbiting. They're gonna fly off. And whether EA's creative direction actually shifts under the its new owners. Unrelatedly, I've just checked my crystal ball and it says 2026 probably won't be all sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, sure. Not for EA, not for gamers. Again, to recover from any movement in society takes about 4 or 5 years past the movement. The movement of what people call identity politics and progressive messaging or wokeism or whatever you want to fucking name whatever it is you think it is just now coming to the end. Like this year, it's pretty much dying out, which means in 4 or 5 years, you will see it disappear. But there are still games right now being made that aren't going to come out for 2 to 3 years that are going to still have these elements. So, whatever you don't like, don't play, I guess. I can't make you like something. People say stuff is woke all the time that I don't think is woke. I played Baldur's Gate for fucking hours and hours. Is there some dumb modern day politics stuff in it? Yes. Does it make me not want to play the game? No, because it's a good fucking game. Like I can overlook a small thing. What I can't overlook is EA trying to fucking gaslight the entire world into thinking they have player first values and they want, what was it? I can't even remember. Something the world to play, inspire the world to play. Get the fuck out of here, EA. Just get the fuck out of here. You're just crazy if you think we're gonna fall for that. I mean, someone will. There are people that believe everything Hassan Piker says. There are people that are gonna believe EA when they tell them their player first values. We care about you, the player. But yeah, it seems like the buyout's probably gonna be moving forward. I honestly thought it was gonna stall in the Senate because it was like multiple entities, and Saudi Arabia is known for talking more shit about America than China does. So just saying, like, I didn't think the Senate was gonna let this one fly. They still may not, but at this current moment, it seems like it's probably gonna happen. And yeah, those orbiters are getting cut. Right? All the kite strings are going to be cut. Kites are going to fly away into the wind. They're going to downsize. They're not going to downsize. They're going to reorganize, shift people around, and some people are going to be basically told, you should quit or you will be fired when your job position is eliminated because the whole department's going. That's what's going to happen. It's what always happens because there's no need to keep excessive bloat at a company, especially when you're 20 $1 billion in debt. But that's all I have wow, I can't talk right now. That's all I have for this article. This is your host Belmont, signing out.